Welcome everyone to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene, where we serve the hottest tea. Join me and my baby stripper voice.
And me welcoming you all to eavesdrop onto our uncensored opinions. This platform is used to inform, laugh, and potentially inspire others to speak out about things we may all be thinking about but are too afraid to say out loud.
And don't forget, babes, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Welcome, guys, to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene. We are back. We're a little lit, but don't mind that. And I want to call you the fuck out.
Oh my god, that's how you're starting this episode?
Yes, I'm a little hot.
With negativity?
No, I'm going to call you the fuck out. Because you're here suggesting that my man gets expensive shit and that I got to pay for it.
That's not true. I said a man of his caliber needs a t-shirt from these two brands. You chose to pay for it on yourself. That was a message to him.
He sends me a link to a Omni shirt, right? We'll link it. And I was not part of
just put it on.
So he sends me the link, and I'm like $200 for a regular tee that has an A at the corner
and a heart. It's Ami Leon something. I forgot the name.
Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm not paying for that. But then he's like, oh, I'm part of the private sale, so it's $88.
I am an Essence Prime member. I get access to the private sales.
Yeah. But I don't have that link.
I didn't realize that it was private sale. I thought it was like just on sale. So when I sent this, she was like, so expensive. I was like, what a broke bitch. It's like $70-something.
He called me a fucking broke bitch, and I'm like, it's $200. Like, I'm not spending $200 on a shirt.
I didn't realize that that's the full, the price was showing as full for you.
Yeah. So I was like, absolutely fucking not. Like, not gonna happen. And he's like, oh no, it's
like 70-something.
With tax, 88.
Uh-huh.
So then my partner, man, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, he is a slim fit type of guy. So it didn't fit him. So I was like, oh, like now I don't have this shirt. So then he's like, oh, I'll try it on. And
so
maybe
joke's on me, I bought it.
Yeah, so he came to my house and spent $88.
Pretty much.
But the joke's on me because now he mentioned like some other shit. He's like, oh, I think like Marlene should buy you like this watch. And I was like...
Oh, I also said he should get an Ami Leon or something. It's a man of the caliber.
Yeah, but I think those fits is just not good for him. Like, he's not like a... You see like Essentials fits like big and baggy.
He can
like,
get a hat.
He has many hats. He has a big head.
He doesn't have that hat. Okay.
Anyways. I think like the most I've spent on a hoodie was Bad Bunny when we went to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And we were fucking drunk as fuck. And the lady was like $300. I was like, okay, swipe the card.
Was it $300? It was
I paid like $300, but I got 2 sweaters.
Okay, same.
I got 2 sweaters and a shirt.
I think it was like $125 each.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. I go to Gap.
Yeah. But at the same time, I want to say those hoodies are really good quality.
Extremely good.
Yeah.
But I was like trash, like borderline blackout, and I got 2 hoodies and 2 hats and something else. They were like for friends, so like it wasn't just me. But she was like, "Your total $600." I was like,
So note to self: don't go drunk shopping.
No.
It's not helpful.
But her man wants a watch, and I said, you know, we're at the age that you need to start getting a grown ass man watch.
Yeah. Michael Kors don't count.
No Fossil, no Apple Watch.
No. I like my Apple Watch from Monday through Friday. But Friday after 5 p.m., like, I don't need to count my steps.
Yeah.
So on the weekends, I need a nice watch.
Yeah.
But no offense to Michael Kors. But I could get something a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. So that's what he's trying to do. And you're, like, not supporting his dreams.
I am supporting his dreams, but also, you know what he can do? Buy me a Chanel.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm helping you. I am building you for success. You buy him a little t-shirt. You buy him a little hat. Give him a little money for the watch. When it's time to just swipe it for the Chanel or like a YSL, he's going to be like, you know what? Like, she really does me right.
I do him right every night.
Okay. She really does me materialistically right.
I do.
So, you see, I'm building you up for success. And you need to, instead of coming from me, you need to think me.
talking about financials, we
That
had
sounded like an ad you're about to do for like talking about financials. Chase Bank is offering.
talking about financials. Where do you have your 401k? We had a interesting conversation this
Yeah.
week about sharing a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I vaguely remember the conversation this week because it was a long week for me.
It was too.
But I think we spoke about sharing a bank account.
All types of things. We talked about sharing a bank account, um, exposing finances in the relationship,
Oh, yes.
and I said I would not share a full bank account.
Well, no. Let's take it back. You said you were in your savage era.
Oh, I am in my but we can see that. I am in my savage era.
In the savage era, and you were like, I don't care if a man has whatever, if he wants to take me out to a nice dinner, I'm going. And I was like, I support that 100%.
Yeah.
If you're a bad bitch
Raise your hand if you're a bad bitch.
and you're single and a man wants to spend monies on you, then go ahead.
Yeah, I don't care how you get the money. If you gotta go scam, do you, my love?
Okay.
You
would date a scammer.
I have. I can't say anything else for legal reasons.
But and I was telling you, I was like, if you're gonna take this man serious, you should care where it's coming from. You should care a little bit about his debt.
Yeah, but so the reason why we talked about it was like, you don't just share financials before it's serious.
No.
Like if I'm dating
Mind your business.
if I'm dating you and we're just like having a great time, but like it's not serious yet. To be honest, as long as you get a job and you know you got a W-2 and every 2 weeks it gets deposited, you could be mowing lawns. I don't care. If you have $40,000 in debt, don't care. Once we really make it serious, then we can have a conversation. And once we move in, then it's gonna be a different financial conversation. But I'm never gonna share a bank account with a guy. I would
always have my own.
I would always have my own with my primary money, and we can have a bank account for bills that we split, and maybe a bank account for savings, and I'll have my own savings and I'll have my own bank account. But yeah, I'm not gonna have like a joint, like all of our money goes in there. I buy a lot of stupid shit.
And I don't need you judging me.
No, sometimes I go a little crazy on the Amazon. Or Fashion Nova like hits me with the 40% off.
Yo, the worst thing you could do is share an Amazon account with your partner.
Yeah.
They judge you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need you judging me for all my hair shit.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna judge you because you bought like a fucking tractor. Those are private stuff.
Yeah. But I think it matters when it's something serious and when it's debt. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to go into debt trying to please me, but then it's like later on gonna fuck me and it's gonna be an issue. That's when I care.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this segues into Real Housewives of New York City.
Okay.
I am going to do a recap, so check that out. Erin from Roni.
Oh, yes.
She was very pissed off that her husband sold off their Bitcoin and didn't consult her. And she was very upset. She was crying. I get why she was upset, but also like you need to be more on top of your shit. Like, shouldn't you check that like every 3 months at least?
She said that it was sold years ago.
Yeah, and she didn't know.
So and she didn't know.
You haven't checked that account in years.
Yeah, and mentally she thought like, hey, we're gonna sell the Bitcoin now that it's like more higher and costs more. We're gonna sell it. We're gonna get our monies, and then we're gonna pay off debt, mortgage debt.
Yeah.
Which I get her point of view because I would do the same thing. But then she found out that her husband sold it years ago, and she was not happy that her husband made that decision on his own.
Yeah.
So I would not be happy either.
I wouldn't. So I feel like I would have my own personal account and my own personal investments, and you should have your own. Yeah. We could have our own shared ones. If you want to buy something out of the joint savings, you got to talk to me. If I want to buy something out of the joint savings, I got to talk to you.
Yeah.
If I'm buying a YSL out of my personal money, ain't none of your business. None of your business.
As long as what you guys agreed on is paid, your portion, your agreement, that shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I have to say is my man, he bought sneakers the other day. And he was like, I felt guilty that I was buying these sneakers, so I bought you sneakers too. And I was like, oh, that was so cute. I was like, okay.
And then you bought him the T-shirt.
And then I bought him the T-shirt that didn't fit him.
You see, this is why. Like, shit happens.
Like, but it's not my fault that it didn't fit him. I was going to buy him the shirt.
It was the children that made
It's the children that made the shirt.
It was the children that made the shirt.
No, but
they don't make children. That's Fashion Nova.
Yeah, but that's another. We'll buy him something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think that financial should be shared 100%. Like, if you're gonna support me, babes, then
should you know how much your partner makes?
Yes.
I think so too.
I was like, I didn't have no hesitation. Yes.
That's true because then I'm a gauge. You're gonna pay for most of this.
One thing about me is that like I like to go out a lot.
Yeah.
I enjoy a cocktail. I enjoy a great date night, and I was able to give myself these things before a man came into my life.
Yeah.
So if you want to date me, like, yes, I have a great Instagram life, but you're not going to change, like, the standard.
Yeah. So I actually was dating this guy many years ago, a couple years ago. And it's crazy. But, he he had a job, like, great. I don't know how much he made because obviously we were just dating, so I'm not going to be like, how much money you make.
Mm-hmm.
But, you can kind of gauge. He took Ubers everywhere. Like, everywhere. Like, to work, from work, daily. And, like, I don't count people's pockets, but I'm also not stupid. I was like, that's just, like, a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And when I didn't have a car, I took the occasional Uber, but I was also very responsible that I'm going to get my ass to work every day on the MTA, unless I'm running extremely late. And Ubers are just for recreational fun.
Mm-hmm.
But he took an Uber every day to work and from, and like did not take.
I dated somebody like that too.
We dated the same guy.
No, but he would take the Uber, and I'm like,
And again, like, I don't mind. I don't care. Like, you have money, like, do you?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and every time we would go out, like, he would pay. So I was not like, like.
He was
stressed.
paying for the crispy rice tuna rolls.
Yes. And, he was doing what he had to do. But one time, we were talking about, like, maybe, like, going on a little getaway. And we got into a fight about something that had nothing to do with the getaway. And he said, you don't know all the things I'm doing for you. He was like, I started taking the bus to save money to book the getaway for you. And I was like, you're not about to throw this into me. Number one, you should be taking the bus regardless. Like, there's no way you should be taking an Uber every day to and from work. Number two, it's not like we're going to South Africa. We're going upstate. Like, what do you, like, no. It didn't work out, but for other reasons. But I just felt like I need a man that's, like, like, responsible with his money.
I actually that's really a great turn on. A man that knows how to handle his money, but also a man that's not cheap. That, like, lives in, like, this stress about, like, oh my God, like, we're going to spend money on this, we're going to spend money on that. Like, no, like, I know somebody that's so stressed about debt. And, like, yes, I understand, like, debt is not something fun because I don't like debt. But at the same time, like, everybody has debt. Like, I'm not going to stop enjoying my life just because of this debt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My friend dated a guy, and he was extremely budget conscious.
Okay.
And
I'm like, how much?
Like, everything was like if you were to go out to eat, it's like, oh, let's share this. Like he always like penny pinches like, oh, oh nah, we're not gonna do this. Like let's just get the chicken. Like everything was like penny conscious, and always got like his own tab. Like I don't know. Like I just feel like you should also be able to like live your life, especially
But
if
I
you
also,
work hard.
yeah. But I also feel like a man that's really gonna be about you is not gonna think twice to want to make you happy and order the lobster, hun.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned in my life. Like, a man that really wants to make you happy is going to do what he needs to do to be like, you know what? If I'm going out with this girl and I'm
Uh,
gonna take her out, if she wants to order the lobster, I'm ready for that.
yeah.
So, but not everybody is all about you.
Now everybody's all about you. Another thing that would just turn me off, since we're talking about like financials, is like a cheap man turns me off regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine like a man like invites you on a vacation, but he skimps out like on the hotel.
Mm-mm.
No,
Well, I like a local experience, but also I'm not trying to be in a.
in a hut.
I'm not trying to be in a hut. I'm not trying to be in a hostel. I'm not trying to be in those type of situations. So so I can endure a local experience, but also I'm not trying to like share a space with other people.
I actually don't like a local experience. I like to stay high end and then go to the local experience
I
and
get
then
that.
go back high end.
Okay, I get that.
But I like a little like I work too hard to be staying like in a rinky dink hotel.
You gotta rethink life when you get back home.
Yeah, like what the fuck? I struggle so much. Let me like live in luxury at least for 5 days.
Exactly. Um, Talking about having morals.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did talk about having morals, which it sucks.
Yeah. We talked about how our moms taught us morals, and I wish we didn't have any morals. I don't know what I was saying. Something about like working. I think I took a half day off or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, not feel. I was feeling a little under the weather, and I was like, oh, I only took a half day off because like I'm not feeling as sick. And you go, that's like that.
Like the white people, I said it.
I was like, it's like a very like Latina like get shit done type of mood.
I was the white people have a slight sneeze and they're out for the count.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, but I'm gonna just take half a day because I don't feel as sick, and then that way I'm not like as backed up on work. Like I just feel like I need to like rest for like 2 extra hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, that's not like
That's like the go getter like mentality of like,
our
God
parents.
forbid I can't be sick because they're gonna take my job.
Yes. So I was like, you know what? You're right. Like I am very much like that's very much ingrained in
Yeah.
my being. My parents definitely like ingrained that like if you work hard, you're gonna get somewhere.
I know, but
And
like how hard
nowadays,
do we have to work?
and I'm like,
I feel like
nowadays I feel like people, I be getting mad these fucking 12-year-old TikTokers be making more money than me.
yeah, well speaking of morals, so I was taught to you go to college, you get a job, you climb the corporate ladder. It's fucking bullshit. If you're listening to this 18 years old, like get on TikTok and start twerking. Like
Be a Mormon and start working.
do something. So I went to school with this girl and she became a bottle girl. And then she became a stripper. Yes, she did. She did. She became a stripper and good for her. Because this girl
Okay,
rocks
Cardi.
the new like and now so through the stripper she met like this guy
Mm-hmm.
who has I think he owns a couple like places.
Okay.
She got out of stripping. This bitch don't work. She is a makeup artist and occasionally would just do makeup for like just to have it, like just to keep up her portfolio, but like like
Mm-hmm.
her man provides for her.
Okay.
This
Ain't
girl has
nothing wrong with that either.
that's there's nothing wrong. That's everything right. Everything right. I want my man to provide for me.
You about to hit me?
I want my man to provide for me. She has the newest purses at all time.
Okay.
She drives a G-Wagon. This bitch goes to Dubai. She's goes to Mykonos.
Is she taking a dump on his chest? Like,
No, like they're like a couple, and like I've seen them out,
okay.
and they're a couple. Like I mean, you don't know what goes on behind closed door, but like I don't think he's shitting on her. I don't think she's shitting on him. Like they're a couple. Like you know, on Instagram they're very lovey, like they seem like a legit couple.
Okay.
But you know he owns locations, and I think he might own like gentleman bars or whatever it is that he owns.
I mean, whatever floats the boat, whatever brings in the money.
Whatever pays the bills. Like honestly, like if my man has 17 farms, like I am here. But
You're picking up the maneuver.
I am not doing anything, my love. He owns them, not me. But you know, like
If he's facilitating the life, are you going to be sharing the bank account then?
well, yeah, because I'm not gonna have one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have my own money.
His money is your money.
His money is my money.
But what happens if something happens?
You know, I'm gonna tell you that off camera because you know I'm not stupid. But you know, like this girl travels the world, G-Wagon, the newest fucking purses, like all of that. This bitch didn't go to college. She didn't get an education. She just went into workforce. She said, I'm gonna make my life. And I went to college with a fucking degree. I worked in corporate for 10 years. I haven't been to Dubai.
We'll get there.
You know, like, I wish I didn't have morals.
I wish I didn't have morals because I want to say
I would have
that
been flipping on a pole.
I think you really would, though.
I would be flipping on a pole.
I think we need to go to the aerial yoga class I went to.
Yeah, but I would be like at a strip club. Like,
They do yoga. They do. We could do a little.
I would have been in a strip club, like, legs, like, spread the fuck open. Like,
I wish I didn't have morals because men are quicker to give a girl $20 at a titty bar than giving $20 for charity.
yeah. And you know what? You don't know where that money in the charity goes to.
Facts.
The money in the titties goes to the owner of the titties. So, I think that's a very wise choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it just began me tight that, like, these girls be, like, coming up. Like, some girls be, like, just twerking, doing lip liner on TikTok, and I have a fucking career. And I'm over here struggling. Meanwhile, this bitch bought her 5th Chanel bag in a week.
More of the story is don't have morals.
Don't have morals. I actually told
Be a webcam girl.
yeah, one of my friends, her daughter just went into college. The cutest girl, beautiful, like stunning, and she went to college. And I was like, you know, I feel like once she graduates from college, like she should become a flight attendant. And at least for 5 years, travel the world.
I love that for her.
Like,
I love a flight attendant's life.
Like for 5 years.
Yeah.
If you like it, stay longer. But for 5 years, travel the world, meet people, make connections. You have your degree in the back of your pocket, but just travel. And I'm like, she's going to school for marine biology. The ocean will always be there. The ocean ain't going nowhere. The ice cap is melting. There's gonna be more ocean for you to figure out. Yeah.
I love that for her though. But yeah, live your life.
And
don't have morals and get a fucking webcam.
Yeah, I wish somebody would have told me that when I was younger. Even somebody did actually tell me that. I used to work at this one store that you guys all know, that I can't name. And there was this girl. She was this woman, and she would come in with this older guy, and she would always be like, I want this in this size, I want this, this, and that. She would get the stuff. He would
You was making your sales that day.
I was making my sales. I was making my commission, and she was really cool. And she would always drop like $800, like all of that, like nothing. She would come with like shopping bags from the mall, like
nothing.
Like nothing. This was just like a stop in their shopping spree, and I was like,
aspiration.
I was like, this bitch she's living life. So one time she came in with the guy, she was like, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna put a couple stuff on hold. And I put it on hold for her. And then she called me. She was like, I'm actually gonna come tomorrow. Please do not sell them. and I know she's good for it. So she came the next day without the guy, but she came with
The card.
like money, like
Okay.
cash. So I'm talking to her this and that, like we're like kikiing. Somehow we started talking about like how she has a boyfriend, but it's not this guy.
Él es el viejo.
Yeah. So she was like, she was like, oh, but like my boyfriend. I was like, oh yeah, like, um, forgot his name, but like they shopped so much with me that I knew him by like they knew him by like first name basis. So I was like, oh yeah, like Rob, like let's say that's his name. And she was like, oh no, that's not like my boyfriend. I was like, oh. She goes like, no, I have like my man, and then that's like like my man. And I was like,
But does the
oh.
man know about the old man?
I asked no questions, girl.
I would have
But
loved to be like, does he
I
know?
also was like 20 years old, like mad,
Okay.
like wow. And she goes like, yeah. She goes like, yeah. And I was like, where do I find one of those? And she was like, let me tell you something. She goes like, you just need to ask for what you want and you need to be straight up. This was like back in the day, so like I'm gonna date myself. She goes like, she just go and put an ad on Craigslist. And she was like, I'm looking. She goes like, you put a picture of like yourself. To maybe cover your face, but she goes like, I am X, Y, and Z. I'm looking for a man to take care of my bills, to take care of me, to pay for my rent, this and that. And she goes like, one of them would hit, and she said, that's how I met him. I was like, oh, and in my head I'm like, that's like a little like borderline like escorty.
But if you're not giving out the sex,
Oh, she didn't say all that. I didn't ask all that. The man looked good. He was an older man, but he was like this like George Clooney type of like look good.
she's giving up the pussy.
So I would be
Giving up the pussy.
to him and then my real man. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about your pussy being stretched.
Yes. Stuffed like a turkey. So she was like, you should put an ad on Craigslist about you and say this, and that. She's like, you'll get a lot of hits. She's like, you're fine as fuck. And I was like, okay. And then I thought about it, and you know what got in the way?
Morals.
The fucking morals.
Guys, leave your morals at home.
Girls, women, if you have daughters, don't teach them morals.
Don't let them watch this podcast.
No, let them watch the podcast that knows that they should throw the morals out the window.
I just feel like nowadays, like, bitches is giving out the pussy for free. Like, get something out of it nowadays.
Yeah. Well, actually, I feel like the hood bitches in our age were given out for free.
Yes.
The younger generation, they're kind of like, you know what? Like, this comes at a cost.
And, you know, that kind of sounds, like, fucked up on our end. But if you just know that, like, you need to listen to your gut.
Yeah.
If you date somebody and you just know that this is not long term,
Chapelo.
chape.
One time I was dating a guy, I was really not into him, and he asked me something, and I was like, yo, I need help paying my phone bill. And he sent me money for my phone bill. He was like, oh, how much is your phone bill? I was like, oh, I pay for my mom, so it's like $250. It was $60. And he sent it. And I pocketed the rest.
I'm not saying that you need to follow these same instructions, but what I'm saying is if you know that shit is not going long term, don't be scared to ask for what is deserved or what you want.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching, and I don't want to give it away, but I was watching Love is Blind this last season, and she found out that her fiance was basically like sexting with bitches while she's engaged with him. So he like lost his job because he was an electrician, and she like broke up with him, and she was like, and by the way, like, I need you to Venmo me all the money that I've been supporting you with the past week. And then he was like, yeah, we'll send it to you. She's like, no, send it right now. And right here, right now.
But he had no money.
No, he had the money. Like, she was just supporting him, but...
Oh, but he was chapeándosela.
He was chapeándola a ella. And she was like, you know what? I'm not going to let you chapear me anymore. Send me the money right now. And I was like, you know what? That's a real bitch. Get your shit. Don't be a dumb bitch. So, moral of the story is, don't have morals.
Don't share your bank account with your man.
Or have a bank account, but have you always a little bit of a backup plan. Don't always I'm not saying that it should not be faithful and it should not be, but at the same time, like, have a little bit of a backup plan. You never know.
I feel like you should always have an exit strategy.
Exactly.
If something comes up,
You never know.
you never know.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Like, share, subscribe,
Comment.
and if you agree with our message of
And
don't
follow us
have
on TikTok
morals,
because we need
we need followers.
algorithm help.
Thank you so much, guys, and we'll talk later.
Thank you for listening to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene.
Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform.
Bye, guys.